Hi everyone, students and teachers alike. Let me start with this. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Our humble salutations to the Guru, who's been a preserver, a destroyer, and a creator. What a day it is to start with by paying our humble salutations at the lotus feet of Sri Sharana Basveshwara, our obeisance to Puja Dr. Sharana Baswa Papaji, Mato Sri Dakshayani Awaji, and our mentor Sri N.S. Devarkar sir. Well, at the very beginning of this day, what we celebrate as a Teacher's Day, very necessary that we seek the blessings of this trio, no less than a creator, a preserver, and a destroyer. Puja Appaji's blessings, Awaji's guidance, and above all, Devarkar sir's advice and the blueprint that he lays for us is something that we cannot do without it. And so today, I feel very proud to wish them a happy Teachers' Day for being our teachers. The day, 5th September, has always been a very special day in the annals of the school calendar. Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan's birth anniversary. Well, we must pay our tributes to him, and very necessary as teachers. The reason being, if not for Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, we don't know whether we would be celebrating this day or not. And so, we remain ever grateful as teachers and as students to Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, who rose from a teacher to become the first citizen of the country. What a wonderful life that he lived. And today, on this occasion of the Teachers' Day, I think we need to take a cue out of the life that was lived by Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. Be it as a student, be it as a teacher, be it as a professor, be it as an administrator, be it as a diplomat, be it as an academician, and be it as a statesman, and above all, be it a philosopher. He's been efficiently wielding an unparalleled influence over the people in whatever designation he worked with. And for that multi-talent that Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan was, he continues to inspire us even today when he is not here. That's the kind of life that he lived. And so, we as teachers also feel very grateful. And today is a day that I must remember and also make a mention that, dear students, we miss you. We miss you, but still we feel you. We feel your presence, and that is because we miss you when we don't see you, but we don't miss you when we feel you within ourselves. That was the very first feeling that I had the moment I stepped into the campus today. Every year, the moment we step in, perhaps students would be there before we could arrive into the campus, waiting anxiously, impatiently to take a chance to wish their teachers. The campus would be full of energy, full of vibrancy, lot of cheer and a buzz with all greetings for the teachers. And very importantly, even the campus also would wear a very different look. A look which says that this festivity of the Teachers' Day is no less than any other festival that we celebrate. Yes, We miss you, my dear students. But we still feel that you are somewhere here. Your wishes are still lingering on our ears. Your presence is still felt here. And we don't miss you. Well, for all the wishes, the goodwill that you bestow upon us today is something that is a tonic for us, which energizes us, which rejuvenates us, which also tells us that we need to repledge ourselves to our commitments, and the only commitment that the teacher has is the welfare of the student, to work in the interest of the students' community and give them the best possible. So dear students, I wish if you were there on the other side, today you would be flocking your teachers the moment they stepped into the campus. Each one would be vying and pushing and pulling the other one to take a chance to say, I'm the first to wish, I'm the first to wish. Oh, it's my chance to wish the teachers. But today, we miss all that euphoria. We miss all that celebration. Okay, but that's only physically. Emotionally, we still feel that we are amidst our students. Emotionally, we still feel that you are somewhere there and wishing us. Emotionally, we still feel that when you smile watching us on the screen, you are still with us. So without you, we wouldn't be. As we say, a garden wouldn't be beautiful without those beautiful flowers. The stars, if not for the stars, the night wouldn't have shined. And without you, the teachers are nothing. Right? So you are the ones who make us whatever we are. And so today as teachers, we would like to say thank you for all your silent wishes that you make from wherever you are, from your home especially, and also for all your admiration, and also for allowing yourself to be groomed, molded and influenced by what we can do in order to give you a better life, in order to make you feel you are getting better and better with every passing day. That's the beauty of being a teacher and the student. And so, this is not something new for us. I am also reminded of the philosophy of the Sharanabasveshwara, the Guru Shishya Parampara. The two faces that we see are described as two lamps, but the light they emit is one. They are the eyes, but the sight they see is one. That is the kind of philosophy that is driven in our institutions through the Sharanabasveshwara Vidyavardhaka Sangha. And children are always considered to be the sparks of divinity. And so Pujya Appaji says, when you serve the children with knowledge, you are serving God. Yes, it's a very noble profession, right from the spiritual leaders to the statesmen like Abdul Kalam, never refrained from saying that teaching is a noble profession because it gives life a living. Our parents give us life, but a living is made with the help of our teachers. And so that underlines. I am even reminded of what Kalam used to tell whenever he went to address the students, have an interaction with them. And when at one of the interviews he was asked, like, what would you want to be remembered as? As a scientist? As a missile man? As a president? And he said, I want to be remembered more as a teacher than anything else. So that being a teacher is something which reflects the words of Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan. And even the teachers who have been there for the students also need to be complimented, congratulated and wished today. And so from my bottom of my heart, I say Happy Teachers' Day to you too. Well, be it a teacher or a student, the life of Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan has always been an inspiration. As a student, when we look at the way the life was lived by Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan as a young child, it really leaves me in awe and admiration. But just admiring it will not do. We need to be inspired. We need to be ignited. We need to instill a hope in us that yes, we too can do it as teachers as well as students. And those were the days when he was stricken by poverty, in a poverty-stricken family. But then nothing stopped him from gaining what he wanted. And that is the true spirit of learning. And as a child, when it was so difficult for him even to get his books for his studies, he used to borrow books from his elder brothers. So it doesn't matter where the books come from, but it matters whether you study it or not. And the spirit of learning was so strong that nothing stopped him from learning what he was very passionate about, from learning what he loved. Even when he read it very intensely, and he was called a voracious reader. And many a time we do suggest and advise our students that you need to be a good reader. Why? Because a good reader is a leader for tomorrow. So a good reader becomes a good leader, and that's what Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan demonstrated with his life. And that reading that he started during his childhood days makes him a leader in the years to come. And what a leader he was. Admired equivocally right from the east to the western countries. All that because the spirit of reading that he had developed during his childhood days. One of the critics says that Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan was not just a good reader, he was a voracious reader. And at the same time, he became precocious. His teachers describe him to be a precocious student. So what is being precocious? Being precocious is about learning something more than what his age or his class demands. And where did he do this? How was it possible for him? It was possible because he was able to read. Right, students, I hope you can understand. Even for we teachers, it's very important that we keep reading. That we keep reading because we need to keep abreast with the latest that's happening. Lots of questions are raised today that, okay, we are all teachers of the yesteryears and we are teaching the children in the present generation to live a life in the future years. So we need to be futuristic. And if we don't become contemporaneous, if we don't become updated, if we don't become upgraded as teachers, perhaps our students will outsmart us. Right? So we need to be good readers and also develop this habit among the students, because we want the good readers of today to become the good leaders for tomorrow. So this is one beautiful example from Radhakrishnan's life, that as a student he was a voracious reader and a precocious student, which continues to bring him laurels even in his higher studies. Difficult for him, challenges are many, obstacles come on his way, but nothing stops him because he had determined himself that he must be something better. And so he chose to study philosophy. And very interesting, philosophy was a subject that he didn't take by choice. It was by chance that he took philosophy. But look at what happened later. What happened later seems to be a miracle, and this miracle was possible not without his hard work. Once he chose this subject, he gave his heart and mind to it. He got so much engrossed in reading the subject, so much so that when he graduates, he becomes a teacher of the same subject with teaching deductive logic. Right? So that is something that tells about Radhakrishnan, that if you're very passionate, nothing can stop you. And as students, we need to develop this passion for what we want to be. Right? Okay. So let's just move on. And one more thing that strikes me about Radhakrishnan is during his graduation, where he writes a thesis titled The Ethics of Vedanta. The Ethics of Vedanta is a climactic contribution of Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, wherein he talks about the Indian philosophy. He talks about the Hinduism, and he says Hinduism is not just a religion, above that it's a way of life. And for this kind of an all-encompassing philosophy that he was able to propagate and convince. Even the Western world also adored, admired, and respected him. And even when he started his teaching career, right from the Maharaja's College to the Vice Chancellor of the Calcutta University, and many more designations that he held during his professional career as a professor of philosophy. All that is a history, and we can take a lot of instances of his life as an inspiration for all of us, irrespective of whether a student or a teacher. And next, there are other things that really remind us, and as a teacher, we must know these things. Even when he was a beginner, he prepared his lesson so very well and delivered it so very efficiently, so very engagingly, that the students of his day say that even if we did not have the subject of philosophy for our study in our graduation, we still attended his classes. And believe me, it is told that his classes were jam-packed, totally jam-packed. But in spite of this jam-packed classroom, yet there was a pin-drop silence when Radhakrishnan spoke to the students. When Radhakrishnan spoke his mind out to the students. When Radhakrishnan taught the subject of philosophy to his students. Amazing, perhaps incredible, because today we find it so difficult to manage the class. But for Radhakrishnan, it was just like that. And I feel this is possible because he loved the subject so much that he presented it so lovingly that the students simply loved to listen to him. And today we as teachers want that quality to be inculcated in us. A preparation, a passion, and an equal execution. Okay, so that's about Radhakrishnan as a teacher, and as a student, he is always very inspiring. And we as teachers and students also have to remember him and pay our tributes to him. And today, the students see that reflection of Dr. Radhakrishnan as a teacher among all their teachers. And so the students are so eager, perhaps more eager in these days of the outbreak of this pandemic, because you are supposed to restrain yourself indoors. You just cannot move out. Today you might be sitting in your places, how I wish if I could move out of the house, reach out to the campus, and gleefully, with all that joy, go and wish my teachers on this day. Yeah, we also would love to see that spectacle, but then the reality is different. As I told you a little earlier, that it doesn't matter where you are, but it matters whether you wish or not. So take out time today to wish your teachers in all ways possible. Don't miss it out, because day in and day out we are in the company of teachers, and in this pandemic we are connected to them through this technology. In spite of all this technology and in spite of all these online classes that we have had, I guess today as teachers I do say we miss you, and perhaps as students you also will equally feel from the other side that we miss you teachers. And today everybody is very impatient to come back to the classroom, be under the same roof, and have the live offline classes. Yes, we too are eagerly waiting for the dates when the government would give us this permission to start the classes, and wasting no time, we would be informing you to come and join us in this campus. But until then, let us pray and wish that we all stay safe and sound. Okay, so lots of things like that on the Teachers' Day, and for my teachers, I must speak a few more things, but then let me take a break here, or say on the other occasions I can speak to you much more. I can only say at the last that a good teacher is one who can inspire hope, ignite imagination, and instill a love of learning. And what is all this? As a friend, philosopher, and a guide. And this again reminds me of Dr. Radhakrishnan. And for my teachers, I would like to say that yes, you are missing your students today, but when your students flock around you in your classroom, listen to your classes, I wish you can play the role of Dr. Radhakrishnan. As his students used to say, that they never felt that Dr. Radhakrishnan was a teacher. They felt more of a brother. And they say, as a teacher, he made the students feel so comfortable that they could approach him without any hesitation for any kind of academic help the student required. So that is a kind of a rapport that we need to have with our students. Only then we would be able to cast our influence on them and leave a lasting impact on them. And it's very important too, because I'm just reminded of this statement which says, 10 years from now or 20 years from now, your students may not remember what you have taught, but they'll definitely remember the way you made them feel in the class. And so today is a day when we again remind ourselves that yes, we feel the presence of our teacher around us. We feel the presence of our students around us. And it is this kind of a feeling that keeps us going. Right? So let's, as teachers, inspire, ignite, and instill that love of learning. And what else to be said today? A lot more, but then concluding with this simple wish. Happy Teachers' Day. A teacher affects eternity. Today is a day to stand up and wish our teachers. Today is a day to stand up and say, I thank my teachers for whatever they have been able to make out of me. Okay? So all that and much more. Today, the technology has again brought in this concept of a teacher and the student, like Dronacharya and Ekalavya. We are at a distance, but still with that spirit, with that presence of the teacher in us, as students, we can still become Ekalavyas. And as teachers, we can also influence and continue to reach out to the students through this media and make them feel that you are not very far away from us. You are still under our influence. You are still under our fold. And once you have come into our fold, just feel assured that you are in the safe hands. You are in the safe campus. You are the best for all of us. Okay. So let's wait and see when the dates are going to be announced and when the doors are going to open for you. But until then, my dear students, do wish your teachers today. It's a day. It's an opportunity. Don't miss it. So do everything possible from your side, in all ways possible, to wish your teachers a happy Teachers' Day. And I, on behalf of the APPA Public School, wish the teaching community a very happy Teachers' Day. And let's all repledge that we will continue to serve with that spirit of teaching and learning and continue to wield our influence over the students to give them a better tomorrow. Thank you.